1 month of ribavirin plus isoniazid to prevent HIV-related tuberculosis. Definition: tuberculosis is an infection disease that usually affects the lungs and causes bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis.
It's estimated that about 2 billion people worldwide are infected with Mycobacterium tuberculosis, often just shortened to tuberculosis or simply TB. 2 billion is a lot of people, right? But even though they're infected, that doesn't mean that all these people have symptoms. The vast majority, about 90 to 95%, aren't even aware that they're infected. And this is because usually the immune system can contain it such that it isn't able to multiply, and often it remains latent or dormant, as opposed to active, which usually causes symptoms and means it can be spread to others. If the host immune system becomes debilitated at some point down the road, like with AIDS or some other illness, or as a person grows older, it can be allowed to reactivate, or basically wake up and become very serious, especially if it spreads throughout the body. Mycobacteria are an interesting bunch. They're slender, rod-shaped, and need oxygen to survive. In other words, they're strict aerobes. They've got an unusually waxy cell wall, which is mainly a result of the production of mycolic acid. Because of this waxy cell wall, they're acid-fast, meaning that it can hold onto a dye in spite of being exposed to alcohol, leaving it a bright.
Application in nursing. 1. To identify people with the infection, the tuberculosis disease, HIV. The satisfactory treatment is mainly the responsibility of medical providers and of the nursing staff, not the patient, as nursing will play an integral role in providing help to patients to complete the treatment of tuberculosis.
There is significant co-occurrence of HIV and TB, and people that have compromised immune systems are at greater risk for acquiring tuberculosis. It's our job to make sure that people who are living with HIV are screened and tested for tuberculosis, and that for people who we know are diagnosed with tuberculosis are tested for HIV. We also know that there are effective preventive therapies for TB among persons living with HIV. And this is one of the areas that we're really excited about at CDC. We seek, in a very short period of time, to rapidly increase the numbers worldwide, and especially in Africa, of persons living with HIV taking tuberculosis preventive therapy that can stave off development of active TB disease and save significant number of lives.
Pros. Isoniazid is an active anti-tuberculosis drug agonist. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is a first-line drug in the treatment of tuberculosis, being the most important worldwide to the treat all types of tuberculosis. Cons. Clinical and HIV treatment programs have been retooling to implement isoniazid prevention therapy owing in part to concerns about adherence to 6 to 9 months of treatment, drug toxicity, and the emergency of drug resistance.
This is Charles Prober.
And this is Morgan Thies.
And now we're going to talk about the interaction between tuberculosis and HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. And we're going to talk about these because the two actually commonly occur together in different parts of the world. And one infection makes the other one typically worse. Together they create what one might refer to as a perfect storm. And so the stick figures, which you've drawn, show 9 individuals on the top line, one of whom is colored in a different color. And this is meant to depict the roughly 9 million people each year who are infected with tuberculosis, one of whom, or about 13%, is co-infected with HIV. So that's a very large portion of the population for which this is a problem. It represents over 1 million people. The stick figures beneath are meant to depict death caused by tuberculosis.
Issues in Ecuador. HIV tuberculosis prevalence in Ecuador is 0.3% in the general population, with that number being the significantly higher among K population, including men who have sex with men, sex workers, and prison inmates.
So let's say that this guy has the flu, could be any flu, and here's a droplet from his sneeze containing, if we move in and take a really close look, you see each one of those little purple things is a virus. And there are a lot of viruses floating through the air, some of which go inevitably up this unfortunate man's nose. How did that guy feel when you ripped off half of his face?
It was interesting because we did it while he was sleeping.
Okay, I am talking with medical illustrator David Belinsky, who designed this video for Xyrus, a research company. So here comes the virus, and it's going to land on one of this guy's throat cells. So notice it's covered with little yellow knobby things. You call these keys, right?
Those are the keys.
Yeah, this is a key, this is a key, this is a key. Okay, if the keys on this virus happen to fit the locks, which are those little purpley stick-uppy things on the surface of the cell, if there is a match, the cell, watch this, welcomes the virus in. And what's this?
This is the welcoming committee. They all interlock with each other, and they pull this membrane down into the cell.
And down it goes deeper and deeper, and that welcoming structure disperses, and the virus capsule bursts, and out comes the secret recipe for how to make more viruses in those little noodly things. So this
Conclusion. Prophylaxis with ionist reduces the risk of the tuberculosis in person with HIV infection. The effect is restricted to tuberculin skin test positive persons.
This animation describes the interactions between tuberculosis, or TB, the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, and your immune system. This character represents active TB. This character represents HIV, and this character represents a white blood cell in your immune system. TB, HIV, and white blood cells are very small and can only be seen with different types of microscopes. In this animation, we show them much larger than they really are, so you can easily see them. Although TB bacteria and HIV are completely different infections, when someone is infected by both, they can work together to further affect their health. For example, people living with HIV are 20 to 30 times more likely to develop TB than people without HIV. This is because HIV weakens your immune system, making it easier for TB bacteria to survive in your body. This animation explains the danger of becoming infected with TB if you are living with HIV and how this can change the diagnosis and treatment for TB.
Thank you.